Hi, my name is John Perez, and I am starting this series of videos today. And the point of the series of videos is to help people. Um, I find myself in my late 30s now and really kind of in a rough place. And it's difficult to know what to do or where to go or, how to get life back on track. One of the phrases that's been bouncing around in my head for way too long now, or for quite a while now, is just rock bottom. Every time I've thought that I've hit rock bottom, things just somehow find a way to get worse. Um, so today, of course, today is the day that I'm going to turn things around for myself. And I want to share this journey with anybody who thinks that they might be able to relate, or anybody who can relate. So, again, okay, I'm 38. I'm an American born in California. Currently, I'm in Nevada. Currently, I'm in a sober living or halfway house. Um, I've been here for 2 weeks. I've actually been sober for 30 days today. Um, Part of the reason I wanted to go ahead and start the video. I need to I need to get my act together. I need to start building a life again, and I'm going to start doing that now. And I hope that there are people out there who are in a similar situation and can relate to where I'm at. Um, a lot of self-help experts, self-help gurus are out there, and they have these inspirational videos, which are going to be much higher quality than this because I have no idea how to edit or do anything much with anything. Um, but what I can offer is the fact that everything I'm saying is real and it's in real time. Today is May 23rd, 2020, and I've been sober 30 days. And I'm going to try to post this video today, and then consistently post things as I get better or struggle. Both. Ultimately, my goal is, well, okay, long term, my goals are just to be happy, um, to be fulfilled and comfortable and at peace. Um, and I've wondered what I want as far as a career goal or anything like that. Um, and what I would like um, would be to be able to give away $1 million to different charities or people in need, um, beginning right now. Um, I'm gonna start everything with money and paying attention to all of my details starting today. And I'll go into more detail in that at later times. Um, but ultimately, those are my goals: to be happy and to help the world as much as I can. Um, your goals may be different, but what you need to do if you're feeling like I am is you need to figure out how to get things back together. Um, that's where I'm at right now. I've thought a lot about this over the last few months, and I've even posted some videos online. I think I successfully hit all of them just before shooting this. Although I'm not an expert with computers. I'm 11 years out of school now, and I just haven't kept up with much of anything. Um, so that brings me to kind of this description. I'll be as brief as I can of kind of how I see my life getting built back together. I've identified 5 areas that I want to improve on in my life, and those 5 things are physical health, mental health, financial health or situation, and then my education or learning, and then finally happiness. And I'm going to leave it that broad because it's kind of the goal, and I think everybody wants to be happy in their lives. um, for me it means certain things which I may or may not go completely into detail on in the future. um, but I see it as sort of a pyramid with 4 things at the base holding up that happiness in the center, a foundation. The best visual representation of it is my one of my favorite places in the world is Angkor Wat in Cambodia. And if you look at a picture of it, you'll see sort of spires in the corners, and then one in the center, and it's a very common shape throughout history. Pyramids or temples or um, lots of different places, lots of different areas. People have seen things that way um, for various reasons, and I see that in my life right now. And it's kind of a neat coincidence that it that I see four main areas supporting that central area. So I'm going to go over my situation and my goals, both short and long term, for each of those four areas, and I'll try to be relatively quick because I know I can get long winded. So, physical health, that's what I mentioned first. Okay, physical health, I've got three areas that I really, really want to focus on specifically, and then there's general as well. Number one, arthritis. I developed arthritis by the time I was 30. I had no idea what it was. I haven't gotten treated. Um, I've had diagnoses a few times, and by the time somebody can refer me to a rheumatologist, I'm out of the state or out of the country. I bounce around a lot. Um, so yesterday, actually, I went and I have a referral going to a rheumatologist, and hopefully that will work this time, and hopefully I'll actually get to see and work with a rheumatologist. In the meantime, my joints hurt. I'm holding this phone in my hands. My hands hurt. My shoulders hurt just holding it. Um, and that's just kind of a fact of my life. Well, I guess I'll go to number two would be my weight, because that is related to arthritis. I want to lose weight in order to put less pressure on my joints and be in less pain, which should help with a lot of other things too. I actually weighed myself for the first time in a while this morning. I was nervous to do it because I know I've been putting on weight, and I was at 199.8 pounds. So fortunately, I will never hit 200 because I'm turning that around starting today. Um, by the way, that's just over 90 kilograms. And my phone, according to my phone's health app, at my height, 5'6", I have to be down under 186 in order to not be obese. But at 186 or above, I'm obese. So I've got 14 pounds to lose there. That's a start. I've got 50 weeks left. I've been in this sober housing uh, unit for 2 weeks now. 2 weeks yesterday. So I have 50 weeks left. Actually, exactly 50 weeks left would be 365 days. So if I can lose 1 pound a week for 50 weeks, that would be 50 pounds. That would get me down to a nice light weight, and I'd be very comfortable. I don't know if I can get that low, but that's the goal. It's just going to be 1 pound a week at least until I get to a weight where I'm happy, and hopefully it takes pressure off my joints. It's also going to relate to the third physical health issue I have, which is high blood pressure. Um, I've been taking medicine for high blood pressure for a few years now. It has a lot to do with stress, but it also has to do with poor diet and just poor overall health. And I want to fix all of these things. Losing weight will help with blood pressure. Feeling better mentally and will help with blood pressure. So I guess I'll jump ahead to mental. Um, yeah, I can go into more details later on the other things. So mental health, I've been diagnosed with anxiety. I've been diagnosed with depression. I've been prescribed quite a few different medications. I generally don't like them. I have to admit that some seem helpful, but I don't like being dependent on anything. Um, which I guess I didn't even mention. Yeah, I'm in the sober housing, and I've been sober for 30 days, which is good. Um, but it was a decision I had to make for myself. I had a lot of people, family, friends, encouraging me to get help or to, you know, just cut way back on drinking because I was drinking as a solution to each and every problem I had. It was an excuse to drink or drinking was just a good way to get rid of the feeling for a little while, and it does work. Um, Drinking works, but only for that night or that day or whatever. Um, Long term, obviously, it's very, very bad for you. And it's difficult to quit. I've talked to a lot of people who have, been quitting 10 different times. I like to think this is my first and only time really, really trying to quit, because it's for me, and I'm doing this right now, on my own accord. I'm out in the middle of nowhere, and that's what my life is about right now, is just being sober and healthy. Um, I was supposed to be talking about mental health. I'm going a little stir crazy staying here and being locked in. Other than that, though, I feel actually pretty good about my mental health. Um, Anxiety as a diagnosis is really weird because you start to believe it. Like when I first got my anxiety diagnosis in college, I was super happy at the time, super confident, and doing well with most things. Then I got this anxiety diagnosis, and I started thinking, wow, do I really have anxiety? And then anytime I would worry or feel anxious, even just in the slightest, I would think, oh no, this is an anxiety disorder I have going on. This is bad. And then I'd start to worry about that. And ultimately, I think it's become sort of somewhat self fulfilling, the diagnosis, because now I do admit I definitely have anxiety. Um, Depression can be sort of the same thing, or they're related, tied together closely. Yeah, I mean, I've been sad. I haven't been real happy about everything in my life for a while, and so sure, I've got that. But when they start medicating me, I feel like I'm getting trapped into a cycle of medication and dependence that I don't want to be in. So I'm trying to minimize what I take. And I'm irritable. I've been irritable the last few days, um, for a variety of reasons, but whatever. I want to organically become happy and fix things without medication if possible. Okay, moving on. Financial situation and health. My financial situation sucks. Um, I've never really, I've never really found it important to save up a lot of money in the past. My thinking on that has changed recently. I figure that the more money that I can have, the more money that I can save, the more I can give away to the people who I feel really need it. And I like being in the situation to make that decision. Or I like the idea of being in the situation to make that decision. So I am going to earn and save and then give away. My plan is to give away $1 million, starting today. Um, I've given away money in the past. It feels great, but I never valued money. I never saw it really as a tool to make the decisions about what goes on in the world. And it really is. It's a way to not just help yourself or buy things, but it's a way to decide, who to help. And I want to be part of that decision making process. I want to be someone who helps, and as much as I can. I think $1 million in my life is a good goal, so that's where I'm at. But financially, right now, I've got about $1,000 in the bank. Um, uh, 1 to 2 thousand, I guess, because I have money in a few different accounts. Plus, I've got like a life insurance policy, which is almost cashed out now because I'm borrowing money against it. So my first goal is to pay that off, and I think it's like $7,000 from where I'm at right now to pay that off, which isn't too much if I'm working in the United States, but I want to ultimately be working abroad. I want to be working online. I don't really have the skills to work online right now, so I'm trying to work on those, which I guess will allow me to go ahead and jump over to education, because that's where I'm at with that. I have been, this week, I've been focused a lot on trying to set up my education plan and goals, and I decided I was going to be number one on my Duolingo thing. Just decided that was going to be something that I could do, something I could control um, by using an app and by having something that could just be counted. And the more time that I put in, the more points they give me, and I can win. And I just love winning too. I'm a very competitive person, um, which you'll see more later. Um, the other site that I'm using, app that I'm using, is Udemy, which I'm really not that familiar with, but I know that they were offering 7,000 something free courses, most of which are really short, and I don't know the quality yet. I signed up for several hundred, maybe 400 or 500, I think, different courses, a lot of them with overlap. Some are very technical computer skills courses, which I hope to use to help make a career. Some are math courses. I'm pretty, I'm very good with math. I want to see how those courses are being taught there. Then there are just like self-help classes, physical, mental health classes. I'm going to see what those are like. And then there are just some random topics that I think would be interesting to learn, along with some language classes. Um, so I have no excuse to not be learning at any given time. So I want to be learning and educating myself and working toward the ability to have a career online. I plan to start with teaching and tutoring online. I have my first tutoring appointment in a long time tomorrow, and I hope that the internet here is sufficient and I can find a quiet place to sit down and do a 2 hour lesson tomorrow. That's part of why I decided to do the video like this. Like, I just rolled out of bed basically, and haven't had a haircut in 4 or 5 months. I stopped shaving because of coronavirus and just the fact that I was in either a hospital or a situation where I really didn't care how I looked. I haven't cared how I looked. So I'm going to clean myself up. And that's where I'm going to go with what I'm going to do today and over the next week. Um, Today, I'm going to clean myself up. I'm going to clean physically some stuff, just put things away, get organized, feel more clean. And I feel like, a clean space is going to help me be kind of cleaner mentally and just in a good place. And I also think that taking care of, just taking care of myself is going to be a good thing too. But I did want to shoot one video. Just, this is how I've looked. Coronavirus, alcohol treatment, hospitals, moving all over the place. Just, this is how I look. And this is the worst I've ever looked in my life, hands down. And I don't particularly like it, but I haven't really cared lately. I'm going to start caring. I'm going to be shooting these videos. That's one thing I really wanted to show, though, today, just kind of where I've gotten, just even just the way I look. I'm also going to be hopefully tutoring more and more. I have an appointment, or I need to set an appointment to audition online for another job, which is going to be based on video. So I need to start looking respectable, feeling respectable, and cleaning myself up. So that's today. Today's cleaning up myself, my space, and if I can maybe clean up some of the just stuff on my emails or phones or just whatever, to just to try to find it, kind of feel like I'm getting my stuff back together. And then let's see, for the rest of the week, let me go through and set some goals. See, physically, the one thing I can control and measure would be my weight. I'm going to lose at least one pound over the next week. Mentally, I've got to do what I can to just keep my head together, because I'm limited to this property, which is not a very big area. All I can do is walk around in circles. Which actually reminds me, I signed up for an app called StepBet a couple days ago, and beginning Monday I have these bets, and I have to take X amount of steps per day. I'm not sure exactly the details on it, but I know that if I don't do it, I'm going to lose money. If I do succeed, then I stand to gain money. So that's a way that I'm kind of looking at both physical health and financial health together. And ultimately, I hope to use it a lot because I'm not really much of a gambler. Um, Although I've played poker for a living for a number of years. Um, I like to bet only when it's based on my performance. Like I would never get into sports betting or slot machines or anything that's really, really up to chance or up to the performance of other people. But if this is about me being dedicated to something, then I know I can do it. And the more things I have like that, like what I was doing with Duolingo this week, what I am doing, um, the more things that I can focus on and quantify, and then know that I'm achieving my goals, the better. So physically, that's what I want to do. One other thing there, health wise, is I'm just not going to buy any more junk food or processed food. I have I have quite a bit here, so I'll eat it because it's here. But then I want to really transition toward a healthier lifestyle too. Um, okay, that's physical. Mental is in there. Financial. I'd like to, work as much as I can. That's it. Um, that means tutoring whenever I get the opportunity, which is going to require me to set up um, a good workstation where I can always have my computer and internet and also be presentable. Like right now, if I knew that there were a tutoring opportunity to start right now, I wouldn't want to do it because I just don't look anywhere remotely professional. Um, so tutoring as much as I can, and then looking for other jobs. So I guess going hand in hand with education, I'm going to sign up for all of the free Udemy classes that I want. I've still got another 1,000 to browse or something. Um, Sign up for all of those, work on those toward building a career, and in the meantime, hopefully audition successfully, get multiple tutoring or online teaching jobs so that I can have more than 2 hours a week of work. Financially, also, I'll be honest, I'm going to try to go ahead and get unemployment benefits. Um, and I will make a video discussing how that goes. But I haven't looked into it. I know that I'm weeks behind, probably on money that I could have been receiving from the government. Um, so we'll see. I'll see what I can get there. But I do want to get whatever I can. I no longer have a problem taking money from the government, which I had a problem with for a long time, because now I realize that the more money I have, the more money I can decide where it goes. And that's something I want to do. Okay. I said I was going to try to keep this brief, and I didn't. Not at all. I might have to re record it. Anyway, I'm here to help people see that they can build themselves back up from rock bottom. And that's what I'm going to be doing. And I'm going to share that journey with anyone who is interested. And I'm just hoping it'll be successful. I believe it will. And yeah, I'm going to post this and go cut my own hair, which could be a disaster. But we'll see how that goes for tomorrow's video. And hopefully, tomorrow after my tutoring session, I can make more of a maybe more clearly put together video. All right, thanks.